Hey, folks, this is the Book Talk with Corbin podcast. On this one, I think most people are familiar with this whole controversy that happened with Kyrie Irving. He was jumped all over by the Anti-Defamation League for tweeting a link to a movie. The name of that movie was From Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. And Kyrie, in that tweet of that link, he was not endorsing the movie. Kyrie had nothing to do with making the movie, writing the movie, directing the movie, producing the movie, nothing. And I say movie, more accurately, it is a documentary. It was a documentary done by a person who regards himself as a black Hebrew. And by the way, saying black Hebrew, that's not always necessarily correct, but it's just a good way to try to identify folk. People who are sort of generally regarded as black Hebrews, there are a lot of different modes of thinking within that overall community. It's just like Christians. As Christians, we're no different. We have Mennonites, we have Amish, we have evangelicals, we have fundamentalists, we have liberals, on and on like that. I even used to read some books by Christians who they claim they were Christian Marxists. The liberation theology and all. So anyway, so let me get back to talking about this book. Again, I want to thank you for checking out Book Talk with Corbin. Please like, subscribe, and share. Go to my website, booktalkwithcorbin.com, Corbin, and check out my past interviews. So Kyrie, tweeted this link out there, and then boom, he's hit with this accusation that he's an anti-Semite. And what's an anti-Semite? An anti-Semite is someone, per many people's definition, they hate Jewish folk. They hate them. They think they're less than human, they're animals, etc., etc. And many anti-Semites are also Holocaust deniers, which is, in my opinion, has got to be the funniest thing in the world, because that's one of the most well-documented events in human history. How you can deny that is beyond me. But anyway, that's what Kyrie was accused of. Now, I want to say two things about that, and two things about the book. First of all, Kyrie and the book are not one and the same. Kyrie was just tweeting out a link, and that was that. Kyrie never said he endorsed everything that was in that book. Secondly, it's none of your damn business what books Kyrie likes, dislikes, promotes, or doesn't promote. It's none of your damn business. And I'm saying that very clearly to the Anti-Defamation League. I can understand you saying, hey, we think this book is bad, wrong, anti-Semitic. Here's where we disagree with it. Here's where we blast it. I get that. This is a free. I get that. But for you to go to the step of, oh, Kyrie's anti-Semitic, and Kyrie needs to be forced to donate money, and Kyrie needs to lose money, and Kyrie's career needs to be destroyed. Screw you. That's bull. That's what communists do. That's what communists do in Cuba, North Korea, Zimbabwe. That's that socialist thinking. No, Because there is no evidence whatsoever for that position. Kyrie's a Holocaust denier, an anti-Semite, or he hates Jews. No evidence whatsoever. You made a very precarious link. Jump. Oh, he tweeted this book, From Hebrews to Negroes, Black America Wake Up, and therefore he endorsed everything that's in that book. Folks, that book is over 300-something pages. It's been a struggle for me to get through it and underline things and check on sources. I mean, this is a 307-page book, but I'm going to continue doing it. Eventually, I'm going to buy the movie and watch it as well. But I say to the Anti-Defamation League, screw you. I'm not saying screw them as a whole. I'm not saying screw them because they're a Jewish organization. They're defending our Jewish brothers and sisters in the United States. I support that mission, but I don't support any organization I don't care if you're Christian, Jew, Muslim, any organization that grossly mischaracterizes a black man about righteousness. Because let me tell you something, folk. They called Desmond Tutu an anti-Semite. So when I heard that they were saying this about Kyrie, the Anti-Defamation League, I immediately became suspicious. And I started checking into that story much more. And my position is this: Kyrie Irving's no anti-Semite, and the Anti-Defamation League keeps saying that he is and keeps putting that nonsense out there. They're wrong. It's just that simple. They're wrong. I don't give a flip about their faith. I don't give a flip about anybody's faith. If you're Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, and you say something is wrong, clearly wrong, you keep saying something that is not evidence-based, I'm sorry. You need to be challenged. Period. That's all there is to that. That's not anti-Semitic. Here's the other thing I want to say about the whole Kyrie thing. Black folk. We often refer to what some people are trying to do to Kyrie as buck breaking. And I can understand that. Yeah, they wanted to beat that black man down. And they wanted to do it very publicly to let other black men know, you best not stand up. You best not stand up. You best not engage in critical thinking. You best not go against the ideology, or we'll buck break you. But here's where a lot of black folk missed it. Folks, they do that kind of stuff. They've always done that kind of stuff in communist countries and socialist countries. You stand up. You fighting for liberty, prosperity, free market capitalism. If they didn't kill you, if they didn't throw you in prison, they would send you to a what? A re-education camp. They're all about trying to control and determine what a man thinks, what a man feels, a man's beliefs. Yes, that's buck breaking, but that's also communist socialist indoctrination. That's white cultural Marxist indoctrination. Okay? And we need to we need to make that clear and put that out there. Let me say some things about the book. As I said, I purchased the book through Amazon.com. Of course, no one is really trying to buck break Amazon.com. They're not trying to buck break Jeff Bezos. They're not talking about Jeff Bezos and Amazon trying to going through some re-education camp. That's interesting, isn't it? They'll say it to that black man, but they ain't saying it to that white dude. Come on, guys. Sometimes racism is just blatant. It's just out there. It's just screaming in your face. But sometimes us black folk, we just sort of accept it and we're passive about it if it's coming from white, and I put in quotation marks, liberals or white progressives or white woke people. No, folks, it was buck breaking. No, folks, it was attempt at communist indoctrination. No, folks, it was these white folks who, quote unquote, are liberal, and they're letting you know, hold up, Negro, you went too far. You took a step too far outside the plantation. Now we're going to bring you back, beat the tar to you in front of these other slaves, and cut off your daggone foot, or cut off your hand. I know some of you thinking, what is he talking about, cutting people's foot and hands off? Dude, that's what the colonialists did to black folk in the Congo under Leopold. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. So that book, it's like over 300-something pages. It's thick. I haven't seen anything that I would regard as anti-Semitic, because you got to, here's what the book is. Here's like the basic premise of the book. Black folk are the true Hebrews. Black folk are the original tribes of Hebrews. Black folk, we are the descendants of the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, if you want to argue that anti-Semitism, the element of anti-Semitism in the book is that they say the white folks who call themselves Jews are not Jews, or the white folks who call themselves Jews are fraud, they're fraudulent, they're committing fraud, they're deceivers. Well, I agree with you on that. That's anti-Semitic. I think that's absurd. But the point is, you've got a group of black folk who are saying, we are the true Jews. And they're saying, well, they're not, pointing to the other side, they're not the true Jews. And the other side is saying, well, we are the true Jews. We are true Jews. We're not deceivers. We're not fraud. And what you guys are saying is nonsense. It's almost like a family squabble. How can you say, oh, these black Hebrews are anti-Semitic, they hate Jews, and yet they're claiming, they proudly, vigorously, passionately saying, we are Jews, we're the original Jews, and they'll speak Hebrew and all this other kind of stuff. So to me, it's sort of like, it's like a family squabble. Y'all work that out. Here's what I know. I've done some work at different Jewish places here in Louisville, and I saw the Jewish folk as just as diverse as Christian folk and just as diverse as Muslim folk. I mean, I don't get it. And I was always impressed with Israel's right to return law. Hey, if you're Jewish and you can sort of prove it, whatever, come on in. And I remember one time I heard, now if I'm wrong, y'all correct me, that Israel actually sent some planes to Ethiopia to bring out those Jews. Those Ethiopian Jews as dark as you or me. I mean, as dark as me. And they brought them to Israel and the whole bit. And there's some black Hebrew groups who have gone to Israel and said, hey, we're Jews, and we should be allowed to have some land here and settle here and worship here. And Israel's let them in. So, to me, it's like one big family squabble. That's a family squabble. Y'all work that out. Y'all work that out. As a black man who's always takes a strong interest in black political thought and black religious thought, of course, I'm going to read about the black Hebrews and stuff like that. But overall, that seems to be a family squabble to me. Secondly, I haven't seen any evidence in that book that it denies the Holocaust. It says some things about what I've read so far in that book, From Hebrews to Negroes, Black America Wake Up. What they're saying in that book is that black folk, you have been victims of a horrific Holocaust too. Yes, 6 million Jewish folk were slaughtered. I mean, slaughtered like pigs. They weren't, in my view, they weren't even slaughtered like pigs. I mean, it was just beyond that. And it's clear they were only killed because they were Jews. That's it. I mean, that's it. That's horrific, people. That's horrible. And it was state-sponsored. So, but what the black Hebrews are saying, hey, black folk, you have been going through a Holocaust that's just as horrific and just as evil as what, Jews experienced in Europe. That's all that they're saying. Now, let me say this again, and I'm not going to keep repeating this. Anti-Semitism, anti-Jewish stuff, when you hate somebody just because of their religion, you hate Jews because they're Jews, that's just dumb. But that's a long hatred. There's a great book I read by Dennis Prager, and it was called Why the Jews. Man, that book really enlightened me. And I tell you another book you should check out by Alan Dershowitz, The Case for Israel. Man, that book was powerful too. It had tremendous impact on me. And I one time interviewed a Holocaust education advocate here in Louisville. He's a rabbi. He actually is stationed in Lexington. It was very, very powerful, very moving. What he was saying, was he explaining to me. So, check those things out. Check those books out. Definitely should do that. But, I'm not saying there is anti-Semitic stuff in this book, or there isn't anti-Semitic stuff in this book. I think what really bothers folks like an ADL, Anti-Defamation League, I think what really bothers them, I'll be honest with you, what really bothers them, black people having the audacity to say, no, we are the true Hebrews. We are descended from the 12 tribes of Israel. Honestly, but that bothers the heck out of them. I think that's what's bothering the heck out of them. Of course, in that book, it doesn't talk about, oh, we need to kill Jews, we need to beat them up and fight them. I mean, and I've listened to some of their different spokespeople. I've never heard them say, hey, it's somebody from our faith, the Black Hebrew faith, and that's really a pretty broad generalization. But if any of them commit a crime against another person for whatever the reason, yes, they should be punished and thrown in jail, whatever. I haven't heard them advocate violence against Jews. Now, again, maybe I'm wrong. If you can show me a source, that says that they've done that is an official policy statement. Hey, I'm with you. I get it. I'll read it, and I'll say, hey, no, that's wrong. But in reading this book, that's not come up. I have not seen that. I have not seen in this book where they flat out deny the Holocaust. If it's in there, I haven't seen it yet. I'm not saying it isn't in there. I'm just saying I haven't come across it yet. I have come across passages where they talk about the Holocaust that that happened against our Jewish brothers and sisters in Europe during World War II. But what they say again is they say to black folk, hey, our Holocaust was just as bad and just as horrific. And I think that's what a lot of Jewish folk, not all, but some, and I'm going to point to the ADL, Anti-Defamation League. I think that's what bothers them. They're really bothered by that as well. And I think that's what bothers them. Now, but again, hey folks, that's what these people believe. Let them believe that. Let them debate that, discuss that. They're out in the street corners. Fine, go do what you do. This is the United States of America. And I do not believe in suppressing free speech. You can sit there and call them anti-trans, anti-homophobic. I don't care. No, I'm not going to support them, the right to suppressing their right to freedom of speech. No, I'm not going to support that. Because let me tell you something. Y'all think that some of the things they're saying would bother some white folks who are Jews? Man, you ought to hear what they got to say about these homosexuals, trans people. Oh my Lord. Whew. It's rough. It's rough. I'm not saying it's right. It's rough. But I'm going to tell you what, I don't support suppressing their free speech. I don't support suppressing their freedom of expression. It's common sense that if one person attacks another person for whatever the reason, it is wrong. It is common sense that if someone goes somewhere and just shoots somebody, like what happened here in Louisville against Brother Greenberg, it's wrong. It's illegal. It's immoral. No, it shouldn't happen. And that's just common sense. And that's just it. But don't be running around calling someone anti-Semitic if I just don't wholesale without checking out the source myself. Oh, well, you didn't condemn it quick enough, fast enough. You didn't condemn it strongly enough. You didn't condemn it with enough sincerity. Man, screw you. What the heck are you to say something like that? Screw you. Or better yet, it's just, okay, well, that's your opinion. It's your opinion. Now what? So what? That's your opinion. I get it. Next. That's just it. That's just the way it is. But to go as far as to say, oh, we gotta force this, we gotta browbeat this guy for an apology that we like. We have to take money away from this man, money that he uses to provide charity to folks, to help his family and his friends. We got to take money away from him. We got to just slander his character all throughout the media, and then we got to force him to go through these re-education camps, these re-education cultural Marxist camps, the way they do in communist Russia and all. And then we got to make him come before the white man, this panel of white people, and to show repentance and, I'm sorry, please let me go back to work. Just like they do in North Korea. Okay? No, I don't support that. No, I don't support that. And yes, I'm going to stand by that black man. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to stand by him. Just like I stood by Desmond Tutu when he was falsely and stupidly accused of being anti-Semitic. Shut up. So that's my position. I just wanted to share that about the book, From Hebrews to Negroes. I'm going to finish reading it, hopefully with the next couple of weeks. And of course, I got a lot of other things I got to read. But and then I'll give more of my opinion about it. Hey guys, this is Book Talk with Corbin. I'm your host. Please go to my website, booktalkwithcorbin.com. Like, subscribe, etc. I'm also on Facebook, with the same title there. And please become a follower. Thank you for listening.